Good afternoon. We are with Dr. Khannah Josue, and we have the honor of interviewing her as part of the Virtuous Woman Summit. So, Dr. Josue, thank you so much for being with us today. We would like to ask you a couple of questions, but before we do, will you please give us a small introduction of yourself?
But first, I want to say thank you so much for inviting me to be part of this platform. It is an honor to be part and participate in this platform. My name is Dr. Khannah Josue. I am a chancellor with Prayer Fast Yeshiva International, which is an intercessory training school that we train intercessors all around the world in any background, and we teach them and how to live a prayerful life and how to intercede in different levels. So we send them back to their community, their church, to practice and participate in their community, in the church as an intercessor. And I'm also a certified transformation coach and a certified brain coach, meaning that I help individual and guide them how to transform by the renewing of their mind.
Awesome. With all those roles and hats that you have, how do you stop from getting overwhelmed and out of balance?
Well, let me also add this. I'm also a professional wedding officiant, and I'm also a mortgage broker. Wow. And have a mortgage company. So I'm going to add that to the hat. Now, what I usually would say, first of all, let's define virtuous woman. Virtuous woman does not mean you're a woman that makes no mistake. You clean, you sanctify, and you're holy. That does not what that means. It means a woman of excellence. What does that mean? Right. Meaning that in the journey of being excellent, you're going to make mistake. To be able to own the error, own the mistake, so it could help you to think of different avenues to fix the mistake and allow the mistake to be a step of success. Mm-hmm. So it's not a place where you make no errors. It's not a place that you're so afraid of making a mistake, or you're afraid that you might be unclean, or it's none of that. So it's the journey of excellence. So how do I wear all these hats? I describe that as a journey, not a destination. Now, in the journey, the example I could give you, if you're traveling, whether let's say in a car, and you're traveling going from one city to another, the goal is to go to whatever city you're going to. But since it's a journey, meaning that before I run out of gas, I'm going to look at my needle, and I'm going to stop at a gas station and get gas. I'm going to stop at a rest place to rest. I'm not going to keep driving until I can't drive anymore. So in this journey, you have to know when to rest. You have to know when to pull over. You have to know when you get refreshed and renewed. And I will also recommend to make sure that you have a mentor, a teacher, a leader that you could run under their skirt to be refreshed. It's like a cave, to be renewed. You cannot do this life by yourself. You can't do this journey by yourself. So you have to have this skirt of protection, which is your leader, your covering, your mentor, your coach, to be able to go to, so they can refresh you, so they can fill your glass up all over again, so you could be taught the next level and be prepared to go back out on this journey.
Good. That's awesome advice. So my next question is, for women, because it is challenging being a woman, but for women who find themselves in difficult situations, maybe they've been in an abused relationship, they suffered trauma, maybe they got off track some kind of way. Can you give them some type of advice on how to deal with that? And my question is more specifically is, how can they go from survival mode to success mode?
That's a very good question. There is not a formula on go from a survival to successful. Again, everything in life is a journey. Now, I would highly recommend a life coach or a teacher, someone that could teach you the steps on how to go from survival to living. And that is one of the work that I do as a transformation coach, in teaching people how to go from life to living. So from survival to thriving, it is a step that you have to get. Anybody that's successful will have a coach. Anyone that is successful, including Warren Buffett, anyone that is in the rim of success will tell you that they did not get there by themselves. And why they're there, they still have a coach. Some of them have a psychiatrist. Some of them have a counselor. Some of them have a coach that they go to, that they constantly speak to teach them to go from one place to another. So anybody that's from the survival mode to the living mode, for you to go to the living mode, for you to go to the thriving mode, you need someone to help you navigate what does that look like for you. Because if you just pick anybody else's formula that is not your life, that doesn't fit you, you're going to get more frustrated. So you have to have someone that you have for your life, your situation, specifically coaching and teaching you where you are to where you're going. Because a lot of us have pick up formulas from other people's lives, and we're living other people's translation of their lives and wondering what's wrong with me, because you're not really living the pattern of your own life, because no one ever really taught you what is the pattern of my own life. How do I get there? So one of the things that we don't do, unfortunately, as a tribe, we don't invest in our growth. We don't invest in our, not only for spiritual growth, but in our soulish growth, in our mind growth. But we only invest in the spiritual growth, where we go to church, we go to Bible study, we do all of that. But then the other part of you is not being taken care of. It's neglected. So it's in a poor mentality, while your spirit is in more of a wealthy place, which is which causes an unbalance, and it causes you to be frustrated, and that's what causes you to be overwhelmed. So it have to be a balance. So you have to invest in getting yourself a coach, a teacher, a mentor that could lead you and guide you in the way that you should go in that area. Because I have a coach. I'm connected with different, I have a mentor, I have a coach, I'm connected with different people in areas where I need, that I could plug with, that could assist me to go where I'm going.
Good. That's a good answer. I learned a lot from that. But speaking about formulas, picking up formulas, I know from reading your bio that you've been in ministry for many years. I know you probably could tell us a lot about being challenged in ministry by men. What about the challenges that we have in ministry with, I guess, competing and comparing as women? So what kind of challenges have you had in ministry with women?
That's a very good question. But one of the things that I was, unfortunately, with that challenge, you will find some women feel like they have to have the vibe of a man for them to survive ministry. And sometimes you could pick it up unaware. And that's was one of my pet peeve of getting in ministry, because I would see women that act like men, look like men, and I didn't want to do that. I love being a woman. I love my womanhood. I love my body of a woman, and I didn't want to lose that. And from watching these women, I felt like I was going to lose my identity as a woman. And I fought not to be in ministry, because I said, I'm going to have to give up my womanhood. But unfortunately, the women that I was watching missed that translation. So getting in ministry, I made sure that I walk as a woman, talk as a woman, and still deal with ministry in my authority as a woman, that I don't lose my woman identity. You can't do that. When God called me, he knew I was a woman, but when he called my spirit have no gender. My body is a woman, but he didn't call my body just carrying the call. The call is in my spirit, have no gender. So I don't have to lose my identity as a woman for me to walk in the spirit, in my authority that I have. So to do that, and knowing that, first I had to gain that and be comfortable in that identity. And then the next thing that I've done is to make sure that I convey that message to men, that I'm not a threat. I'm actually your partner in ministry, that we working together. So one of the wisdom that I've used in my class, I make sure all the men sits up front to give them the honor as the priest, as the high priest. And I have, that doesn't take anything away from me. As a matter of fact, it gives me more authority and more power for me to submit to a man. I don't mind submitting to a man at all. And then when they come to my class, I submit to their authority, I submit to their call, and I put them up front, and I honor men. And I also teach wife in my premarital counseling. I teach wife to do the same thing. It doesn't take anything away from me. I still know who I am and the power and the authority that I carry in the spirit, but I do it in my gender as a woman. I don't have to be a man or walk in the man vibe for me to walk in my authority. I'm still a woman. So there's a lot of little small pieces that come in how to do that. I let people, if they want to compete and a man come and want to compete, I let them do that by themselves. What I refuse to do is to become a dancing partner on this field with men that wants to compete. I remove myself from the floor and said, I refuse to dance with you with that song. I'm not dancing with you that song. I'm too powerful for that. So I will sit back and allow them to do the dance by themselves. And once they recognize that I'm here to help and I'm here to elevate, that I don't mind you being the man. I don't mind you taking the lead because I know who I am. So I would say, women, first, find out who you are, find out the authority that you walk in and be comfortable with it, that you don't have to be the dance partner on this floor of competition to men for you to prove who you are. I don't have to do that. And once I stopped doing that, men started respecting me and respecting who I am in God, because they finally got, oh my gosh, she's not competing with us. She's not trying to tear us down. She's actually building us up. And I love building a man. I love encouraging men. I love to push them for them to be the priest that they are. It makes my heart good. It doesn't take anything away from me. It makes me feel good. And I love being a woman. Yes, I do.
Very good. That was a great answer. You took me many places with that answer. Now this is a different question. What advice would you give to a man who's raising a daughter in these times? What advice and information could you give them being a single father raising a daughter?
Make sure that she get a mother, a spiritual mother, a mentor, a woman that could speak into her life. Because what a man or woman, you were created to be your man. There's so much you could do for your daughter. She needs the voice of a mother. She needs the voice of a woman. So I will get her a mentor. I will get her and connect her with a woman that will mentor her, that will speak in her language, because there's certain area a man cannot go because you are a man. So connect her with a woman that could give her the other side, the other part that you're unable to give, so she could go up and behold and have both voices in her life.
Good. That's good. Okay, as a certified brain coach, let's talk about the mindset and mentality. It sounds really good to hear someone say that they are give you the title or give you the name of being a virtuous woman. That sounds really good and it looks good on paper. But what what mindset is necessary to have to become this virtuous woman, and also keep that whole persona or that whole mentality of whether you're working by yourself having that mentality or you're working among people having that mentality? What mindset do you need to have to be a virtuous woman?
Well, they have a lot of pieces to the answer. The type of mindset for you to be a woman, a virtuous woman, is a woman of excellence. So I first have to open up my eyes to myself and be excellent to myself,
That's good.
to hold myself accountable, to love myself enough and respect myself enough that how would I say, I will raise the bar on the value that I hold, the morality that I hold. Some things I don't do is not because it's not sin. I don't do it because it doesn't carry the value or the bar that I carry for myself. Like some people would say, well, it's not a sin. The Bible didn't say don't do that. I don't do it. I don't go by what it's not sin. I go by what the bar that I have set for myself. The respect that I have for myself causes me to respect you. A lot of people, what the way they treat you is because the way they treat themselves. So it's not hard to treat you with respect, with honor, with value, because that's what I feel about me. I honor myself and value what I have inside of me, what God have given me. So it's easy when I meet a woman or anyone for me to bring that value to you, because I have that value in myself for me. So once I hold myself accountable and for me to be excellent and stop accepting mediocre and stop accepting anything and said, in Jesus' name, I've come in excellent for myself, that I walk in excellence. So when I meet you, I have no choice but to treat you the same way that I treat myself, in excellent. So to that arena is because, well, lack of for our own self. Um, there's, I could give you different examples of, I have my own discipline. I set a discipline, a certain order in my life, meaning that the order is not strict that I can't do anything else, but I've put a certain order in my life that, and I want to share with you a conversation that I had with one of my daughters. That for a while, it seemed like a man will see me and said, she must be already married. And they will be surprised to see that I'm not married. I'm like, but you look married. And I got worried. They're like, well, what, you know, why am I thinking I'm not married? So that's me, my husband gonna walk away. And then that conversation is, and then she was saying the reason that they're saying that you're married because you don't look desperate, you don't look thirsty, you don't look hungry, you look like you're being taken care of. Mm-hmm. So when you look like you're being taken care of, that's when you have a husband. So people out there grinding and trying to make it, and they're burning in the sun. I don't have that look. I have a happy look, a look that I'm comfortable because I'm comfortable with me. I've learned to find happiness within me, and I've learned to have value and morals for myself and set the standard for me. And I did not know that was going to make you look married. But that is the identity of marriage, because in marriage, the man covers you and protects you. So if I'm already there, what does that mean? Mean that I'm already a wife. Because he that findeth what? Not a girlfriend, all right, a wife. So what does that look like? So the man is going to see, wait a minute, I can't bring her anything. So wait a minute, there's a standard there. Wait a minute, there's a value there. So he's not going to accept anything because that's what a wife looks like. That's what a wife is. So the virtuous woman, the woman of excellence, is excellent in every area of your life. So you have to take your life piece by piece and start dealing with, you know, you have a problem with cleaning. You have a problem with washing your clothes. You have a problem keeping yourself good looking. You have a problem treating yourself. You have a problem. What is it? What you have to really being late. And when you bring a project, is the project excellent, or you just want everybody to just accept anything? So when you do that for you, then it would be easier for you to live a life of excellence, not perfection. But when you do make a mistake, you learn from it, you own it and admit it, and then learn from it. That is a woman of excellence.
Wow. Wow. I'm just taken back by your answer. There's so much wisdom in what in how you answer. I appreciate it. Thank you for sharing with us, and thank you for sharing this time. Can you give us just a preview of some things we can expect from you in the future?
Definitely. As a professional speaker, as a brain coach, as a transformation coach, I am teaching a series called Sweep Your Brain that teach people how to tap into the well within themselves, their mind, their brain. And I believe that our brain is the most important, valuable kind of, what I say, I call it a diamond. A piece of diamond that God has given us in this cave in our body, in our skull. It's located, and it has so many wonderful things. And I teach people how to tap into those different levels of their mindset through the word to learn how to live a successful life. Because as you said before, a lot of us are existing in life, but we have not yet lived. So what I teach people to use their brain, this life that God has given us, which is a gift, and learn how to make a living out of it. And that is what I'm teaching in my Sweep Your Brain class. And I would love to invite everybody to that class. I want you to connect with me on KhannahJosue.com and become a subscriber on my YouTube, because every week I have a School of Thought, Lunch and Learn, about 7 or 8, sometimes 9 minutes of wisdom on different subjects. And you subscribe to my School of Thought with Dr. Khannah Josue on YouTube. and you'll be able to get that. So it's something that I love to do because I see the potential of who we are. We just have not yet tapped into all of those potential. And it is my life's goal is to teach all of us, and I'm still learning it myself, to tap into the different arena of our mind to be able to get all the answers that God have already given us. And a lot of us already have the answer. If we're honest with ourselves, we're praying a lot and we don't see the answers, we get discouraged because we're afraid to say, well, why God is not answering me? The reason is because He's already given us the answer. And I feel like my life's call is to be that GPS that will locate you to the answer that's already there for you to be able to maximize it and make a living out of it.
Thank you again, Dr. Josue. We appreciate you sharing your time and your wisdom. If someone wants to get in contact with you, can you share some information if they want to visit your website or email you? How can they reach out and contact with you?
It's KhannahJosue.com, KHANNAH, Josue, JOSUE.com. And you go on the website, you can find everything that you'll like on the website. And my email is coaching@JosueEnterprises.com. Then you reach out to me. You could, even for you that want to get married, I am a wedding officiant. I'll be more than happy. You could find me on the knot, that you could reach me on my website. And I'll be more than happy to do that. And I will also do premarital counseling and postmarital counseling. We all now say if Michelle Obama and President Obama needed counseling, there's nobody in this world that should not get premarital counseling. So that is available as well. So I look for you to reach out to me at KhannahJosue.com. Thank you so much for inviting me. It was such a pleasure to share with you today.
Thank you, Dr. Josue.